What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. All right, guys. I'm not gonna say this is a quick video because I don't know how long this one's gonna take. There's a lot of things that I'm gonna try to cover in this video. All right. If you hear my washing machine in the background, it is what it is. My washing machine is on, but at least my dryer door is closed, which you guys always complain about. But let's get to this. Insomniac got hacked, and the leaks got put out. Few things I want to start off by saying. First of all, if you're somebody that doesn't want to cover the leaks for your own personal reasons or whatever the case may be, I'm not here to judge you. I don't think anybody should judge you. It should be your own prerogative whether or not you want to cover them, whether or not you want to talk about them, whether or not you want to consume content regarding to the leaks. Okay? The only thing I will say is I hope you consistently do that with all other leaks as well, and you have consistently done that for all other leaks as well, because if not, then it just shows a flaw in your character, and I'm just being honest with you. So if you sit in that boat and you know that you have covered other leaks before, it might just behoove you to bite the bullet on this one and cover this leak as well. I'm just saying, unless you don't care that you're going to look disingenuous and people are going to be able to read and see right through you. A lot of times we think that the public and our viewers, we think that we could fool them, but you can't. My viewers know when I'm capping. My viewers know when I'm not capping. They know when I'm trolling. They know when I'm not trolling. The best trolls are the ones that you can't really tell, right? Like, those are the best trolls. But for the most part, when I'm reading my comments, which I try to read all my comments, I may not reply to all of them, but I try to read all of them. I can tell, like, he on to me. They on to me. She's on to me. Like, okay, boom, boom, boom. And then other people, like, I can see they really get upset, right? So here we go. I'm going to cover the leaks from what pertains to me as a gamer. Not going to talk about anyone's personal information or any of that stuff. So, first things first. Insomniac. This generation, hands down, Insomniac has been the best developer. I truly don't know how anybody can argue that. Have there been games that have gotten more awards than Insomniac games? Have there been games that have gotten better reviews than Insomniac games? Have there been games that have gotten more player engagement than Insomniac games? Yes, yes, and yes. But if you look at consistently what Insomniac has done this generation, I don't think anybody can hold up against them. You might have one studio here that did something great, but then hasn't released anything else or hasn't dropped anything else to that caliber. Insomniac has been consistent. And if you throw in last generation, which you definitely don't want to do, then for the last two generations, Insomniac has been a monster. But this generation for sure. I would argue that without Insomniac, the PlayStation 5 would look even more abysmal. I would argue that Insomniac is literally carrying the PlayStation 5 right now and in the future. When you think about the things that you're looking forward to and stuff, like, come on, man. It is what it is. So, it's unfortunate that these leaks happened, right? But because of what Insomniac has already done, I think most gamers are still gonna buy their games, are still gonna play these games, and financially, I'm not exactly sure how this leak really hurts them, but again, I might just be ignorant to what a leak can do. Second thing, if you are out here judging Wolverine based off of these leaks, I need you to be smarter than that. You and I both know that we can't even judge game based off of the publisher's trailer. Like, they lied to us in their own official trailer as to what these games are supposed to be and look like, right? So for you to judge a game based off of early development is a little iffy. If you're just getting an idea of what you think might be, whatever, okay, sure. But if you're actually trying to give this game a score or judge it, whatever the case may be, then I need you to be a little bit smarter than that, because you know and I know that things can change, and what's in the beginning is not at the end, right? Things can get better or things can get worse, right? But to judge it right now is ridiculous. You should judge Wolverine based off of what Insomniac has already done, and that'll be your best judgment as to how good or not good this game is going to be. And when it comes to making games, Insomniac is a beast. This is the guy that plays on Xbox. I'm being honest with you. I'm not here to lie to you today or anything like that. Okay. I always say I do one cap, two truths. Right. That's typically my formula. That's how I keep people questioning. Is he capping or is he tell you the truth? Insomniac is up there. All right. So let's get that out of the way. The roadmap for Insomniac. It's number 3 on Insomniac. I may not like it, but I understand it. They revealed in these leaks how expensive these games are. And that's one thing about these leaks that I noticed. Like, a lot of the things that were covered in these leaks, we already knew. We already knew that games were getting more expensive, that the gaming budgets for AAA games were ridiculous. We kind of already knew that. Hence why a lot of people understood the price hike and they accepted the price hike because it takes more to make these games and all that other stuff. We know how many years it takes to develop these games. We know the voice acting, the capture, the technology, all that other stuff. So we understood that these games were expensive. Maybe we didn't know exactly what that dollar amount was, but we already knew that. So when you see what the dollar amount is to make these games, it makes sense that for them to get their return on investment, they would attach that technology and all that talent to an IP that's already popular. That to me makes perfect sense. I may not like it because as a gamer, I would love. Could you imagine if Insomniac still got that same budget, but they were allowed to do with it whatever they wanted, a new creative IP or whatever, or maybe not brand new, but imagine if they gave Insomniac Infamous. Oh my God, I would love it, right? But, and I'm not saying this in a derogatory way, okay? So I don't want any Sony ponies to get mad at me when I say this, but the IP Spider-Man is safe. The IP Wolverine, I would argue is a little bit more risky, but depending on how they do it, if they make it a teen game instead of a mature game, it's safe. X-Men, right? I mean, these are all IPs that are already huge and have their own fan base already. So it makes sense. If you're going to put all that money into that technology and everything, but attach it to an IP that people already know. And yeah, Spider-Man 2 and Infamous could have been the same game, but because the name of Spider-Man is behind it, it's going to already attract more people. It just is what it is. So I'm not mad at Sony and I'm not mad at Insomniac when it comes to the business side of it. Because at the end of the day, this is a business. But as a gamer, I would have loved to seen different IP or a different roadmap. So that's the negative side of this roadmap, is that it's stuck on Marvel. Now, if you're a Marvel fan, that's great. That's beautiful. That's outstanding. I'm happy for you. If you're not a Marvel's fan like that, the positive is it's Insomniac making these games. So regardless, the games are probably going to be good, guys. And I know I talk a lot of trash about Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1, the quick time events and all that other stuff. And that stuff still holds true. But if I wanted somebody to make quick time event games, it's going to be Insomniac, right? That's enough of me giving Insomniac their flowers. Now let's talk about everything else that showed up in these documents. Again, nothing that I saw all day today on Twitter and on YouTube was a huge surprise. It was more of confirmation of things that have been said before. Call of Duty and the Activision deal. This is a problem. This is a problem for PlayStation based on how much money and that exclusivity, marketing exclusivity they had with Call of Duty. The most popular game was marketed with the most popular console. They both helped each other out, and the revenue was stuck between Activision and Sony. Now, Activision is owned by Xbox, so Sony has to share that revenue with their competitor. And they're at the mercy of what Xbox wants to do with that. A lot of people say there's no way that Xbox will take Call of Duty off of PlayStation, and I'm in the camp that believes there should be no need to take it off of PlayStation, make that money as well. However, I can't fully tell you that if they were to remove Call of Duty off of PlayStation, if a lot of those PlayStation gamers wouldn't move. Now, you that are watching this channel, I'm telling you right now, even though you believe that you're the common PlayStation fan, you're not. You're not. The common PlayStation fan is not watching YouTube videos on gaming. The common PlayStation fan is not on Twitter gaming and in Twitter spaces. The common PlayStation fan is not following all this stuff. The common PlayStation fan is just somebody that knows PS5 is hot but can't tell you why. The same way the common iPhone fan can't tell you why an iPhone is better than a Samsung. They have no idea. It's just what's popular. And I'm just being honest with you. Those people, if you are somebody, if you're one of these people that mostly plays Call of Duty, and you find out that in not this generation, not next generation, but maybe the generation after that, the only way you'll be able to play Call of Duty is if you get a computer or you get an Xbox. Okay, I'm getting an Xbox. A lot of people aren't tribal like us, where we're like, nah, I can let go of that game. So Sony is really showing that this deal is a potential disastrous for them. Okay, it is what it is. Now you can deny it all you want, and man, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. If you're denying that Call of Duty is not that big of a deal, it is what it is. Now, if Xbox doesn't remove Call of Duty off of PlayStation, which I don't think they should, they could still make it more enticing to play it on the Xbox side. And that might be enough to shift just a few people over. But at the end of the day, if they don't shift anybody over, they are now getting money from PlayStation gamers as well. And that was money that they weren't getting before. Somehow they got to make up that $69 billion that they paid for, right? Okay. It also showed in this leak that Sony is concerned about the services. Subscription services and streaming and cloud. That's something that for you and I, if you're around the same age that I am, it took a while for us to get into, and a lot of us still haven't gotten into it. I'm fully into subscription services for gaming. I do subscription services for everything else. I'm fully into subscription services for gaming. The only thing I'm not fully into is cloud gaming, because the only cloud gaming that worked for me, from my experience, was Stadia. Stadia to me worked flawlessly. I will keep saying that. It's unfortunate that Google let it go, but it is what it is. xCloud is not near as good as Stadia, not even close. And even GeForce Now, which is better than xCloud to me, is still not even close to what performance that Stadia gave me. I don't care if it's got a 49. I don't know what Google did as far as where their servers were and all that other stuff. I'm telling you right now. And when I had all three of them, I was on fiber optic internet with only 3 devices connected to it. Right now, I'm here in cable internet with 26 devices connected to my internet. So it's really horrible. And GeForce Now is hit or miss as well. And xCloud is even worse. But Sony is showing that they see this as a threat, because as we all know, technology doesn't stop. Technology moves forward. Streaming games will be the future. Is it the future now? Of course not, but it will be the future, whether you like it or not. Cloud gaming will be a staple of gaming, whether you like it or not. It will be a staple. It might not be the biggest, it might not be the smallest, but the potential is there for it to be the biggest, but it will be a staple regardless, guys. Like, I don't know why we're denying that. And then the streaming service, not streaming service, the service, what's it called? The service, oh my God, what is the word I'm looking for? The service infrastructure matters a lot. Leak spoke about Xbox's ecosystem being a threat and all that other stuff as well. Oh man, so many things going on with this leak. I don't want Sony to die. I want to make that clear. I know in this channel I promote Xbox and Game Pass the most, because that is what I game on the most. And my PlayStation 5 truly doesn't really get turned on like that. I'm not even lying to you. It just really doesn't. But I can still recognize the talent that the Sony developers have. Right? Even if they're not games that are for me, I'm holding on to, eventually there will be a game that is for me fully, and that'll be good. As long as they're still making plain and safe remakes and remaster, then no, that won't work, right? But I believe that if these leaks are true and they start following what they were thinking about, putting their games day and day on PC, that's going to bring more revenue to them, right? Embracing possibly day and date, maybe people switch over to that subscription service versus Xbox subscription service. I don't know. And possibly they'll feel comfortable enough to try new things. Xbox is sitting behind Microsoft's money, which, look, man, money doesn't buy happiness, but you can sure as heck rent it. You can be riskier on the Microsoft side, whether it's a positive or a negative. I can use Redfall as an example, right? The Xbox just let them do whatever they want, supposedly, and it came back, bit them in the butt. But PlayStation right now, according to these leaks, looks like they have to play it extremely safe, and looks like they can't miss. If these games are going to be that high of a budget, they got to be attached to IPs that are recognizable. So the remakes and the remasters make sense. The canceling of factions makes sense. Why would they put out something that they can't ensure is going to be good? Why would they make a multiplayer live service games like factions when they got to compete against other live service games? Like why would they do that? It's not as easy as it looks. Microsoft could continuously throw money at Halo to the point where when Halo came out, people were saying that it was horrible, all this other stuff. But I don't know what generation you were in or what year you were in or whatever. But I remember when Halo came out, it was hot. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was enjoying it. It was after maybe 2 months where people were complaining about they wanted new modes in the multiplayer, right? But when the game dropped, everybody was playing it. Everybody was loved it, got good reviews, everything. And to this day, Halo has its spikes where, Halo is great again, blah, blah, blah. People loving this new season and everything. But it's because Microsoft has the money to throw at it. Sony doesn't have that, and that is the reality. That is the reality that I think some of these fans don't want to admit. It's unfortunate that these leaks came out, but I think it shows us why Sony is doing the things that they're doing and why they're moving the way that they're moving. The PS Portal makes even more sense, right? Even though, again, none of this is new. PlayStation needs to have you locked into their ecosystem. They can't afford to let you play somewhere else as of right now. They haven't figured that out yet, right? So, I don't know, man. As a gamer, which is what I always want this channel to be about. I don't want this channel to be about sales or anything about that. So I want to be as a gamer. What I'm going to tell you is this. Enjoy your PlayStation today. Enjoy your gaming today. If you're on Xbox like I am, enjoy Game Pass today. Xbox is Game Pass. That is their main vision. There's no way of denying that. You can't deny that at all. That is their main thing. PlayStation's main vision are right now these big blockbuster games, and that's the problem that they're running into, is that it's hard to keep turning on that. It's hard to keep producing that over and over and over and over and over again. A lot of you are already done with Spider-Man. Go back and play Spider-Man 1 if you haven't yet. Go back and play Miles Morales if you haven't yet. Go back and play Ratchet and Clank if you haven't yet. Go back and play Returnal if you haven't yet. Play God of War 2018, God of War Ragnarok if you haven't yet. You playing these third-party games on the PlayStation right now is not really helping PlayStation that much. I'm just being honest with you. Okay? They need you to support their first-party AAA games. So I get it. I understand the remasters. I understand the remakes. As a gamer, enjoy your PlayStation if you can. Whatever is on there that you enjoy to play. I'm going to keep enjoying Xbox right now, and that's why I'm not worried about whether or not Xbox is making another console in 2026 or 2027. It is what it is. But Insomniac, I'm sorry that this happened to you. I don't know exactly how this affects you, but it did bring a lot of insight. I suggest to all my fellow content creators out there that are PlayStation centric. I've said this plenty of times, but I really mean this now. That same investigative, journalistic, apocalyptic mindset that you have towards Xbox, I need you to shift that to your preferred platform and really analyze what's going on with PlayStation from a critical point and tell us the truth. Plenty of Xbox content creators can come on here and tell you that we got lied to about the power narrative. Plenty of Xbox content creator can tell you that, yes, there's no need for an Xbox because Xbox is going everywhere, right? We can tell you the yes, Xbox is moving to more of a digital platform and to have their ecosystem everywhere. Yes, we can tell you that they're moving more to a subscription-based service. Yes, we can tell you that with no fear of what that repercussion is going to be. We need you guys now to look at PlayStation and have that same critical thinking. Dog1985, there's levels to this. Oh man. I don't know if this is true or not. Shout out to my dude who tagged me on Twitter. I can't think of your name right now. Again, I don't know if this is true or not, but if you want to run with this, I guess you can. Apparently, Jim Ryan sold a whole bunch of Sony shares, got rid of them, I guess. I don't know if that means anything. Y'all let me know. We out. Peace.